Hello everybody and welcome to Amphlett Reviews, here to do a review for Cypher, released in 2002, directed by Vincenzo Natali, who did a previous film released in 1997 called Cube, which is a lot more well-known, a lot more established, got a Korean remake not too long ago actually, and spawned 2 sequels. He did a follow-up film many years later with writer Brian King, anniversary, I guess, kind of appreciation, boutique label from Umbrella, which I've released it on 4K for the very first time, and on actually a proper edition packed full of special features and archival stuff. Just a fantastic edition, which is amazing. I have done an unboxing for this already. If you want to check that out, that just kind of shows you what you're going to get in the edition. The reason why I want to do this video, and it's surprising because this is a non-Asian based content and I don't usually do a lot of them on the channel, I really wanted to talk about some very specific films here and there that I think are just, you know, holy grails for me, films that I really enjoyed kind of growing up, or ones that I've never got the proper treatment that it deserves, and Cypher has definitely been one of them. I originally had the Channel 4 kind of shiny edition, special edition DVD many years ago, then opted out to get the German edition Blu-ray, which is long out of print and very hard access, which is essentially just an upscale version of the DVD. It's a little better than the DVD was, but just basically upscale, and that was the default version for the longest possible time. And one of the things I've said previously is that this year has been fantastic in terms of boutique labels, physical releases, and getting some really great films on high definition, giving 5-star packaging and giving special features and booklets, and just kind of going the extra mile for some of these films. And you know, Dark City has been one of my holy grail ones for this year in terms of Arrow. They did a great job with that. And Umbrella here, I've gone ahead and just done a film which probably no one asked for really, but you know, I'm glad there is this kind of underground kind of appreciation for the film. There is an audience for this film, and I'm glad it's kind of got enough attention for Umbrella to do a brand new restoration 4K scan and produce a lot of these brand new extras, talking about with the director of the film, the kind of cinematographer, the writer, and a lot of those archival extras poured over from previous editions. So this is just a review talking about the film, not giving away spoilers. I kind of want to keep this as vague as possible. I want to talk about this film in terms of being a really underrated film and something that I really enjoy and really like. It's definitely one of my high tier movies in terms of that kind of appreciation. One of the things I want to mention straight away is that the new 4K transfer looks incredible. This is a gorgeous looking film in terms of the color grading. It's part of the identity of the film. It's one of the aspects of the film that's really important in terms of having that kind of borderline black and white, very shadow based kind of work, and just highlights kind of thing. It's just, you can see the details on the back of our main character's neck that you could never see before, and it just kind of brings this breath of fresh air, this new life to the film, and very kind of the 60s inspired, but you know, it's sort of in the future, but sort of not kind of thing. It's very hard to identify, especially with the clothing and the technology. It's a very interesting kind of aesthetic, visual side of it. It looks incredible. And I think the 4K really makes this film pop in terms of that kind of color grading and how it kind of changes throughout the film, which I think is really important to the story and where it goes. Very kind of Orson Welles based, something like The Third Man or Touch of Evil. There's kind of classic kind of 50s, 60s kind of, you know, thrillers, and the way the direction is, the way the kind of the style of the film is. And this film shows the world is run by corporations, mainly these main 2 that we kind of establish are in the film, and the kind of the ideology that we show in terms of how they're presented, I think is really interesting, and how basically they're kind of going against each other and they're creating spies, and there is this kind of third party kind of, you know, deep operative kind of, you know, hidden identity kind of character that's kind of pulling the strings, and our main character in the middle is stuck between all of it in terms of this kind of bigger play, which basically is an accountant. He's the everyday guy, wears glasses, he has suits, and basically he's just kind of bored of his life. He's a company man, as they say, which is the original title as mentioned, and he just wants to do something interesting. He wants a bit of something for himself. You know, he's got an unhappy marriage, and he's just wanting an adventure. He wants to be a spy, and he basically gets these kind of assignments to go to these kind of locations. He's got a pen which he has to activate, and our main character takes on this new identity called Jack Thursby, which is this kind of like anything he wants type character. You know, he starts drinking kind of, you know, whiskey on the rocks kind of thing. He starts to smoke. He's thinking about doing kind of sea kind of, sailing, and he's just kind of embracing this new kind of cool identity. And he starts to get nightmares. He starts to kind of get a bit weaker, and he's not feeling great, and there's something at play going on. And in the mix of it, we have the rival corporation, and we have Lucy Liu's character also comes into it, which is a representative of our kind of covert kind of third party, which is basically saying, hey, something is happening here. We're going to help you get out of the situation, and you're going to see what's happening, and basically we're going to place you in a very dangerous situation. And essentially what it comes down to is basically stealing something from a very high-tech vault, a data vault, and that kind of comes from our main motivation for our main character to basically kind of play this out. Obviously, Lucy Liu playing the very kind of femme fatale, the mystery woman, someone who's kind of entered his life and kind of took his breath away, essentially, and of espionage and kind of double crossing and playing a double agent, and his life is on the line as well, and he doesn't know what to do and who to trust, and there's a lot going on in this film this character goes through, and he puts himself very deliberately in danger. But obviously he is way over his head. In terms of the thing this character does, it's very interesting, it's very well handled, and there's a lot of kind of classic kind of 60s kind of throwbacks and kind of elements into the film, and it's very well paced, very elegant, and very well performed, and just great performances, just real good character performances from everyone. And you've got a great range of supporting characters as well that really do help add to the film and the aesthetic and kind of the drama that's happening, pushing this film forward. And it's a really engaging kind of thriller. If you're expecting an action film, you're not going to get it. This isn't that type of movie. I'd say this is definitely much more of a corporation-based kind of conspiracy thriller that's very kind of retro in its kind of 60s kind of attitude and its look. It has a little bit of kind of Brazil to it. It has a place and a time that's futuristic and about the idea of technology and corporation kind of ruling, but also doesn't have a specific point where it's kind of set in. It's a very well handled, very well crafted, and just a very intelligent film. And you can tell that the writer, Brian King, did a really great job of putting this together, and obviously the director kind of brought this film to life. And it's, I'm glad this kind of umbrella release is giving this film a second chance, breath of fresh air, proper 4K transfer, really bringing out the best of this film could possibly look. Just a really incredible, slick film that I think is just really unappreciated and really underrated. And hopefully by this video, maybe one or two of you will check this out and take the gamble. Hopefully this might get a UK release, maybe down the line from another distributor, depending who owns the rights to it in the UK, or hopefully might get a streaming version, maybe down the line. So I think that definitely just help in terms of kind of the audience kind of, engagement. So yeah, that's been my thoughts and impressions on Cypher. What are your thoughts and opinions on the film? Have you seen it? Have you not? Please comment down below. So in the meantime, guys, Amphlett Reviews, signing out.